Ready.
Okay. So welcome to this month's new moon. I'm so glad you could join us. The energies this week are wild. The new moon today really feels more like a full moon to me in terms of just the amount of emotion, the amount of things that are coming up. And I know that astrologically, there are reasons for that. Chiron is playing around, and so is Pluto. And Chiron, as the wounded healer, is somebody who's going to affect us sensitives and healers in a big way. And then Pluto is all about going down into the depths. So we might be feeling a little bit fatigued right now because we've come out of a period of time that has been a lot of excavation, a lot of going over old things. And the first thing that we need to really tune into is allowing ourselves to believe that it will be different. Right? I think that this is the most interesting thing that's come forward from my clients and from myself is that we are now getting visions of our life purpose, of a bigger thing. It might not even be concrete, but we can feel these new energies coming in. And I know that in myself, my left brain is kind of like, oh, well, I've felt this before and nothing really changed. And so what I want to work through today is working through some of these murky energies and shifting our neural pathways to actually accept all that is new that is coming in. Because the energetics of the planet, the density of the planet, the amount of light that is coming in, things have totally changed. And if we have circumstances around us, the places that we live, the people that we associate with, just the very simplest things, it's easy for our brains to kind of lull us back and say, well, no, things really haven't changed all that much, right? And I mean, we've been talking about this for months, and in our rituals, we've been, cliff diving and standing and looking out in the void. And now it is really time to leap. And I know that when I say that, my left brain just gets very, very upset and wants to cling to something and wants something concrete to hold on to. And if anything, over the last 3 months, I think that we are being challenged to let go, which means that we need to have faith. We need to have faith. So I think that probably this is going to be pretty short today, but we're going to do a great deal of work on clearing. So it won't be as long as normal, and we possibly won't do the usual sorts of rituals. But it will be very, very, very effective, and it'll be something that you want to come back to. Hi, Mary. It's nice for you to join us. I'm sorry you're late. It's fine. We're a small group. So we were just talking about how we are taking a jump into the unknown and how we can allow our systems to accept that and not freak out and not panic. So, do you guys have any questions? Okay, let me just take a couple deep breaths there, Mary. All right, how have you guys been experiencing this week? How's it been? Anna? Humana?
Sorry, I had muted them. Let me restart their audios.
Oh, okay.
It's been weird. It's been a total roller coaster of things going up and down, but it seems promising in a weird way.
Yeah. I mean, what I've been experiencing is so many options.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not landed yet. So I can feel all of the new energies coming in, But it's like, I keep saying this, it's like I've got one foot on the accelerator and one on the brake, and I'm just kind of lurching down the street, right? That's how I feel about it. But yeah, so Mary, you've been kind of frantic.
Yes, well, our kitchen has been torn out and they're sawing and remodeling and banging and dust everywhere, caked all over everything in the house. But
Didn't you just get done with all that stuff?
What's that?
Didn't you just get done with all that stuff?
No, they did the demo. You know, they tore everything out and now they're reconstructing. We went and picked out appliances yesterday, so it's all good. But and I've been busy with music, jamming, and gigs and this and that. But let me just bring this up because every time I try to get on the call, I can't find it anywhere. I go to the Facebook page, I look at events, I look at this and that, and the only way I can ever find it is to go back into an old message that has the Zoom link. And is there an easier way to do it?
Well, in the Wolfpack, one of the announcements that's pinned to the top is the Zoom link.
Okay, announcements.
Yeah, it's always in announcements.
All right. My mind is like a sieve.
How are you feeling, Anna? I know you're tired, but...
Yeah, it's been a funny week. I've been not really wanting to go to work. I've been willing the end of the day to happen, been willing for the end of the week to happen. I've been eating like there's no tomorrow, as if there's going to be some kind of food shortage and I'm having to stock up.
Could be Brexit, you know.
Or maybe. Yeah, so my behaviors haven't been amusing me particularly. Yeah, there's no reason for me to be flat, but I am. I'm very flat.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why.
All right. So let's see what's going to come out of this energy process. I'm playing with a lot of new frequencies that have been coming in. They all felt really, really, really overwhelming until I started, stepping into it a bit. So we can play with that also. But I think that the key question right now is really just being okay with uncertainty and okay with not knowing the details of what's going to go on. I think I know that there will be way more clarity. So all we have to do right now is to tune in and really allow those things that need to be released, that have been coming up, perhaps they're repetitive sorts of things, just be willing to allow them to drop away. And, often, you think, well, of course, I want to get rid of all those bad things and the things that are holding me back. But what I've observed in myself is that with all the shifts that are going on the planet, with everything that's happening, my left brain is very uncomfortable with letting go of any understanding, right? And that is something we're just going to talk to our left brains and ask them to take a little bit of a time out. All right, so why don't we just go right into it then and just see what comes forward. I have no idea, so it should be interesting. The best ones usually come that way. So, so my intention with this is just to provide a very thorough clearing so that we are ready for all of the exciting things that are coming our way. So go ahead and just close your eyes. Let's just bring our hearts and minds together. Let's just visualize ourselves standing on a plane. And this plane, I'm kind of seeing a meadow. And above us are the stars in the heavens. And at our feet, I'm kind of seeing
grass, just flowing very gently. And as I kind of put my head up to see what's happening, I can feel a breeze which feels like newness, like springtime. And let's just allow that sense of spring, that sense of the new, that sense of excitement to come into us. And this is totally not an intellectual process. It's just feeling that frequency of the new and just imagining seeds beginning to sprout, flowers opening, a beautiful, nourishing rain, and the sense of anticipation. And so, looking around, we see that we are together. And if you'd like, you can join hands. If not, that's okay too. But just know that while we are utterly alone with our souls, we are also supported and accompanied by hundreds of thousands of other souls who are on this same journey home to the light and to that peace. So now, standing in a circle, let us call up the container of the next 3 months. We have been going through a period, kind of a late winter, and there has been so much that has happened. And so let's just allow that last 3 months to appear before us, and let's just give an enormous amount of gratitude to what that was like, to January, all of the lessons, all of the fun, difficulty, the challenges that we went through. Just looking at that and kind of turning it over in our hands, giving gratitude to ourselves for walking through that. February, just picking it up and looking at it. And perhaps we don't remember the exact lessons, but boy, we went through it and we survived it. And March was the kicker. March was a month of so much coming through, lots of confusion, lots of conflict, relationship issues, communication issues. But we had so many important lessons that came through. And now we can take all 3 of those months, and there's actually a hole that's appeared in the middle of our circle. And we can take those months and we can just throw them down the hole bit by bit. And it's not disrespecting it, it's simply allowing those lessons to now be assimilated, even the ones that we're not even sure why it happened. We're just going to allow them to be there and just rest in the not knowing. Just allowing that. And those times are over now. And we are so grateful to have walked through. And so just allowing those to go, to begin to assimilate into the earth, all of that energy, whatever it was, to be transformed, to be alchemized down in that, the depths of that. So now, let's hold up a beautiful sphere. This sphere represents what we will be walking into. And I'm just observing the sphere beginning to rotate. What it looks like to me is a big globe. And it's actually kind of pink. And what's inside of it, I can't really see. It's quite foggy, a bit murky. But instead of that murkiness being scary as a few months ago it might have been, you can feel the frequency of all of the new being held there. And let's just begin to put in our intentions. And we don't have to be completely specific, but we can if we want to be. My intentions, and you can just agree with it or add your own. But my intentions are calling in more community, calling in connections, calling in my soul tribe. And most of all, having the courage and the confidence to simply take the next step without having to know the whole plan. And I'm putting this intention in. You can add your own. If you have specific projects that you want to put in there, the work that you do, or how about your relationships? Nothing specific, but how you want to feel in your relationships. Not how you're going to talk to people or planning or any of the details. Just intend the frequency of being soul to soul and to operate from that standpoint with relationships. And anything else that you might want to put in, perhaps your body. How do you want to feel in your body this spring? Why don't we take some of this spring energy, the blooming flowers, the animals that are stirring and coming out of hibernation, and let's bring that lovely spring energy directly into our bodies. And just allow it to start to fill us and to inform us. So just looking at that beautiful bubble of the next few months, let's establish a connection from our soul. And our soul is kind of near the heart. It's a little further down, solar plexus. Let's just feel that and send energy from our hearts, from our soul, from the depths of our being into that beautiful container that we've just created for ourselves. And just watching it spin. And what I'm seeing is that some of the intentions that we're putting forward are based on the old way of thinking, the old way of being, the old way of doing. And so let's free all of those beautiful creations, all of those beautiful intentions. Let's free them from the constructs of our belief. If we want to experience something different, something that we've never experienced before, we have to allow new frequencies, some of which may feel very uncomfortable at first. But we have to have the willingness to allow them. Even if we feel as if we are losing everything that we know. Coming back to that soul, to that center of the spirit. Just let go of all of those beliefs, all of those judgments against yourself, all of the assumptions you have about who you are and what you're capable of doing. All of those constructs are part of the old 3D reality. And we're no longer going to be pushing around pieces of 3D puzzle, because now we can tune and understand that everything is created on the energetic plane in the 5D. And so we are creating this brand new lattice work. And you might say, well, how can we create the lattice work if we don't even know what it is? And to do that, we have to tune into the highest intention and simply allow what wants to be born to be born. And as we stand here, I'm just seeing white light pouring down from Creator, from Source. And as it pours into this beautiful orb that's in the middle, it's washing over us. And I'm just seeing it as an incredible waterfall that is simply stripping away everything that is not us. And some of the things we're very used to. We're very used to our personalities. We're very used to the way that we do things. But what we're doing right now is we are stripping away all of that, all of the society, all of the circumstances, and we are going back to who we were originally. And all of you now, I see the adult you, but I'm seeing standing right in front of you the child you. And this is the child that danced and laughed and had no constraints, who believed in magic, who believed in fairies, who believed in the goodness, and believed in beauty, and lived in love. And that is the self that we're unleashing today. That child who wakes up in the morning and says, oh, I wonder what's going to happen today. The child who doesn't want to go to sleep at night because life is too exciting. Feel that frequency. Remember that frequency. Remember that delight. Remember that joy, that exuberance, that energy. This is the self that wants to come back and live within you. And so I'd like you to take that child, and you can put your arms around her, or you can put your hands on her shoulders, but just bring her into your soul and allow her to come back and to live with you. And all of the confusion and all the pain and all of the suffering and the isolation, it's gone. Because it's part of the old paradigm. And this you has remembered your limitless power to create. And this little girl of yours, she is going to assist you. She's going to take you by the hand and she's going to say, let's play. Because it's precisely that energy of playing, of delighting, of having fun, of being totally carefree. That is the energy that is going to propel us forward. And I'm seeing all of those little girls go into that structure of the next 3 months, and they are already beginning to explore. And so all we need to do is to step into that beautiful new structure. And so if your left brain is making some objection and saying that this doesn't seem very logical, that's okay. You just acknowledge it, thank it, be grateful. Now you're just going to have to be very courageous, open heart, open mind, open spirit. And now let's all step into our own personal bubble. And just as you step into it, don't try to analyze it. Don't try to see what's there. You don't even need to figure out. Just allow it to be. And most importantly, that frequency. You're going to have to get used to it. You're going to have to allow your body to accustom itself to this expansion. And that's not an intellectual process. It's just a feeling process. So just relax your body. Take as many deep breaths as you need to. We're now standing inside of that big pink bubble. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing about it is that it's actually very still. I can still feel the frequency. I can still feel that excitement. But inside of here, it's not like outside. Outside, it seemed like it might be chaotic or scary. But the stillness here is so beautiful, so peaceful, and yet the excitement. And so, see our angels coming forward to speak to us. And what I'm hearing is reassurance, is the knowledge that we don't need to know the entire game plan. We don't need to have it all planned out. All we need to do is to tune back in to the source of our soul and ask for the next step. That's all. It's as if our higher self is the director. And all we are, we're an improv actor on the stage. And when the director says, okay, take one step forward, that's all we have to do. We don't have to think about the next step. The director says, sit in the chair. That's all we need to do. We don't have to jump forward. We don't need to know, because our soul knows. And our souls will direct us no matter what. And just feel into that knowing. Feel into the magic of what shows up when you listen to those nudges. And just imagine all of the magic that's around you at every moment. You're only picking up about 1/1000th of all of it. And if any pledge needs to be made, you could make a pledge for the next 3 months to follow the synchronicities. When you see the repeating numbers, say thank you for the acknowledgement. If you think something's a sign, it is. Just know that you are now in the flow. Your higher self is the director, and you can just take the pressure off of yourself. Because whenever you're operating from your heart, from your deepest soul, you can't ever be wrong. And so the angels are saying that they would like you every night before you go to sleep to put yourself into this bubble, to allow the angels to come around and to provide you with comfort. But just accustom yourself to feeling that new frequency. This is all you have to do. And go to sleep with the intention of grounding, integrating, and expanding. And when you wake up in the morning, just remember that beautiful pink orb and that sense of peace and fulfillment. And so now I'm going to leave that and come back to ourselves, feeling the insides of our bodies, allowing that frequency in, allowing the channel to expand. And your guides are all placing just a pink orb right in your heart to connect you so you can always remember. All right, and now it's time to step back from this circle, extending gratitude and thanks to all of the guides, seen and unseen, all of the frequencies all of the beings who assist us, all of the helper energies that surround us, that love us unconditionally, that see our beauty and revels in our creation. I'm just bowing deeply and receiving their love. We step back. And breathe. And feel. And just allow everything to settle. And just a couple more deep breaths. And then whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. How's everybody doing? You look like you're ready to go to sleep, Anna. Any comments or observations or questions?
I think I went off somewhere.
Pardon?
I think I just went off somewhere.
That's okay. That's all right. You got what you needed. You were definitely there. Your soul was definitely there. I felt it.
Like I heard the words. But yeah, I wasn't 100% with them. I sort of went off somewhere. I don't know where.
That's exactly right. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, you know me, I'm always doing new meditations, and recently I have had the experience of, even if I've had 10 hours sleep and I've drunk coffee and, you know, I'm just all hopped up, I will do a meditation and I'll just zone out.
Yeah.
And at first I was super frustrated by it, but what I keep being told is that it's exactly right, and that half awake, half asleep state is actually incredibly productive, right? Because, you know, what I experience is like my left brain turns off and it's like I'm not asleep, but I'm not awake either. And I'm not able to follow direction. Like when I'm doing my neural pathway reprogramming, forget it. I can't do it. But we're operating right now, I mean, it's very different. A few years ago, it was like, okay, let's reason with the left brain and let's do the neural pathway work. This is different. This is subtle. This is so much, it's so vibrational. It's so much about the inner experience, right? And it's not like how things used to be. And it really, I'm just having trouble, verbalizing what it is, but it's way more about the experiential aspect of feeling the energies in our bodies, exploring our energy systems. So the time for the intellectual work is gone, right? This is the embodiment time. This is the spirit time. So, I know that I rebel against that because my left brain is always wanting to know exactly what's going on and analyze stuff, research, and, all that nonsense. And it's really hard for me to do it that way. But that's when the really great work gets done. long-winded explanation, but I also just want to tell you what I've been experiencing, because you know, people are like, oh, you meditate so much, and it's like, you know, I do it for self-preservation, right? But it's not like I get into a lotus position and experience enlightenment every time, right? It totally sucks, like at least half of the time. Wow, that may be an exaggeration. So anyway, so zoning out was perfect for you.
Okay.
Especially since you need to get more rest in general. You're taking the weekend off?
Mostly. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not doing any traditional work. It's just admin crap around the house.
Oh, bless. All right. How'd you do there, Jimena?
I've been getting a lot of creative visions during meditation, and
Cool.
this was not the exception. I actually just sorted out what I saw and what I need to use it in, like right now. But it was weird, like just when you started telling us to get into the bubble sphere, whatever it is, just as I got in, I got like different visions and ideas of projects that I was trying to like sort out from the many options, and they were just clear and they just made sense.
Wow.
It was good.
Awesome.
It was really good.
Excellent. How about you, Mary? A little less frantic?
Yeah, a little less frantic. It's been really challenging for me to do any kind of like meditation and so forth lately, because the chaos starts about 7 a.m, and you know, it just so. But
It's funny because just so Anna and Jimena know that, but Mary just sold a house in Los Angeles, and one of the biggest problems is that Mary's like super sensitive and gentle, right? And she was surrounded by car alarms, construction, just constant noise all of the time. And then she moved to Baja, and now you've recreated the construction and everything.
yeah, this is the major project. So that, you know, in another month or so, it'll be a little bit more mellow. But it's just like I've been really busy. I mean, like every week, there's at least 2 events that I'm participating in with music team.
That's
We're going to be
great.
doing one called Mujeres para Mujeres, which is for abused women, which one of the leading blues bands is organized. So I'm going to be involved in that, and just a lot of stuff going on.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. You can turn off the recording.